Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I am here today with my latest journal flip through. This is kind of a Victorian inspired-ish Halloween book, and I have been working on it for a while. It's a nice chunky book. So the cover, this is from a book, and I just really love this image of this woman. She's sort of dressed ghostly with this jack-o'-lantern and the two owls there. It's a very vintagey Halloween image. And below it, I've added an authentic antique book cover label or drawer cover label. This is for like one of those library cabinets. I got it from this really lovely antique store, and it's made of brass. And it has this sort of a orangey brown or like chocolate brown, medium brown label inside that is removable. And I have added some fun fabric. So I did make the spine for this book. It is a nice big chunky spine from collaged and quilted stitched, fun fabrics. It is stitched to the actual book on the front and on the back, and I did leave the original publisher stamp on the back of this old book. So there are little eyelets that I've used to do the closure. It is braided and this is stitched, and so it's very sturdy. The book itself is like a nice slate gray color, and you'll see there's laces and tabs and things that all kind of come out the side. It's got a nice little side profile. I used some fun organza ribbon to close this one, just like a little thin one that's been doubled up, and it's really fun. So the colors are sort of like oranges, purples, blacks, grays, golds. So then on the inside, these are the end papers. They're this black and kind of orangey, copper toned paper that's metallic, and it's been distressed a little. And this is a pocket here. These are a couple of little bits that I've added on here just as collage on the pocket. And inside we have a couple things. So this is a fun insect postcard type thing. It's a journal card. It was cut from the back of a vintage magazine that's Dutch called Fleur. And then this is an old picture from a book. It was during the time of photographers trying to create images, like ghostly images. And so that is a fun little add-in. And you will see the fun fabric on the inside too that covers the back of the spine. I started this book with a piece of ephemera that I made some time ago, and I can't recall, it might have been for the Release the Craft, and I don't remember. It was for some challenge, but I thought it fit so well into this kind of Victorian inspired Halloween book. So we have a plague doctor back here that I spent a good time illustrating some time ago for a project. Then we have this clock which turns. It has hands on the acetate, and then there are these two pigeons back here, and so you can turn the whole thing, and it's just a fun little interactive bit. Back here you'll see like eco printed paper. It's stitched around as a folio, and on back we have a pocket, and in the pocket sort of another piece of ephemera that kind of goes with that original piece. This is National Geographic Citrusolve melted paper, so just very cool. Lots of cool little details in this book. So this is a vintage photograph or antique photograph, and I added another of the pigeons that I braided through, so this can kind of move so you can see the details of the photo, but it's all just a journal card, just an interactive journal card. So that just tucks in the pocket there. And then here we have this little pocket. This paper has a nice plasticky feel to it. I forget what the type of paper it was, but it's a nice scrapbook paper. And we have some Tim Holtz kids here with the dog, and it says, "We're not alone here." And that is from some spooky words from Release the Craftin. And this is another of those fun postcards. This one with a spider and the spider web from the Fleur magazine. And that just tucks in the pocket. And then another little collage over here. This is a digital page. I used sort of a random smattering of digitals, so I can't really accredit any specific collection. I'll tell you when I know, but I did a real smattering in here. So this has this fun mantis type insect. Then this was cut from a Victorian Halloween calendar, and it's a side tuck. And inside, this was cut from an old book, and it's got this owl and these crows, and they're all kind of having a calamity. I did do some metallic painting at the top and added a label. Nice dotted orange paper on the back there. Cabbage dyed paper. This is a little trick or treat kind of poem. It was part of a piece of scrapbook paper, and I added this little Victorian Halloween boy down here. This is black with stars, and one of the stitch tabs that's in the same pattern as that patchwork spine. They're all through the whole book, and they kind of transcend down as you go through the book. This was from a copy of Rapunzel from a book, and it has this crow and these rocks, and it's very kind of spooky in its feel. So I made a journal card with that. All of the white pages I've done like inking and distressing in black. Some orange construction paper, this little pocket here, and then this is a piece of ephemera that I made a while back, but I thought it was perfect for this book. It has like old wallpaper. This was made from an antique card box. I don't know if you collect antique cards, you might recognize this gold material. It's like a kind of a thick cardboard or thin cardboard. And then we've got some book spine, a vintage, book with a cat catching a mouse, and these two Tim Holtz doll women, and it says a crooked mile against a crooked style, a crooked cat, a crooked mouse, and they all lived crooked. And that was just a fun little collage that I made with those book snippets. Spiders on this side with this upper tuck spot, and then we have this bat. This was from like a science book. Then just some tissue paper that has these lovely bronze dots on it for a little fun texture. And then this is a little collage pocket with a crow and some tickets there. And inside we have this journal card. It says Halloween Reflections, and she's looking in here at this vampire looking guy. And we have this little envelope that I've braided on there. Brown construction paper. And this was like a little alchemy kind of page in a book, and I cut a pocket out of it to add this gal to. So this is a Miles Beyond the Moon paper doll. This was like something that I did as part of my Mayhem challenge that I did throughout May of 2024, and this was the toilet paper challenge. So believe it or not, in the background here, this is toilet paper that was dyed with oxides, and then I've ironed down some sparkling Angelina fiber onto it, and then I used this outhouse from this old book about outhouses in like the Maritimes, and I just thought it was a funny way to be a play on toilet paper. But overall, it has like a spooky Halloweeny kind of feel, I think, for various reasons, and I've stitched some fabric up at the top. These are some of my rusty carbonized leaves on watercolor paper. This is not a printout, it's an actual page of watercolor paper. This is some brown paper with orange lace, and then this is a calendar page from an old calendar about Victorian Halloween. More brown paper and some fabric stitching, and the other side of that leafy page. Then we have this little envelope with skeletons, and this is a Witch Hazel Pharmacy label. Then we have this little pocket here, kind of a Victorian looking girl, and inside another of those kind of older spooky photography postcard designs, and that's a journal card that fits right in the envelope. And you'll see a rusted paper clip overhanging here. It's holding on to this envelope up here, this Briggs Vegetable Worm Confections, a sure, speedy, thorough, and palatable worm specific. Keep dry. So it's like, and it's got some vintage tape on the back. So it's like a real little old pink envelope, it looks like. And then inside we have this little jar with these stag beetles and such. And that just tucks up here with this little journal card inside. The other side of that fun tissue paper, this little pocket here, this October comes from a Victorian calendar and spiders, and then this is a lovely vintage design of this cat playing this skeleton guitar. I can't recall if I cut that. I think I cut that out of a book. And then this is just a cool page with another beetle and more orange construction and inked papers. Just that stars and moons paper, cabbage dyed paper. This is a cauldron here with this kind of costumed Halloween-y celestial lady, and then more of the orange dots. This is just a journal tag, very fun little journal tag with this crow ticket on top. Some old ledger in purple. And over here we have more of that alchemy scene, that pocket with this crow journal card inside. Great colors, the orange and the purple together. And then the other side of that folio with the Plague Doctor, we have this side tuck that I made from the National Geographic paper that gets citrusolved, and it has a Robert Frost poem called Acquainted with the Night, which I will read to you. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in the rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the farthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet, for when far and away an interrupted cry come over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye, and further still, an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky, proclaimed the time was neither wrong, nor I have one acquainted with the night. So it's a really interesting kind of spooky poem. This is a journal card made from an old Guelph Daily Mercury invoice. I've added another of those wings on there, so it's just another kind of matching piece of ephemera for that whole folio. And then the back is this fun coffee dyed paper with this bird up here. This side we have a pocket, and really these go quite well together because we have the crow, we have another fun printed invoice, and this Windows pocket. And then this is a little journal tag, and it's been collaged with different Halloween bits, and it's got this little sort of slide wallet pocket there, so just different things. Do not be deceived, extract of witch hazel, a little Ouija board, haunted, and that black cat. And then this is a little word find journal card with that spooky jack-o'-lantern, and then that just basically slides into the wallet here. There we go. Let's give it a little tug. There we go. Okay, and then that tucks back in here. Some fun sort of fall feeling paper, purple hand-dyed paper. This is a little pocket here of this kind of ghostly woman. She has some cards in her hand, and we have black dotted paper with a tab. And this is just kind of some fun, these are like old like druggist invoice kind of or prescriptions, and they have like these scary images that are in the background, and I coffee splattered the back of the paper. This is, I forget what digital this is from, but it's just kind of cool. Pauline, or Buried Alive, by the author of Monte Cristo, London, Thomas Hodgson. And then this pocket here with this owl, and then we have this, it says The Land of Let's Pretend. So, you know, Halloween is about a lot of costumes and pretending. Cabbage dyed paper. This pocket here is from Release the Crafton's Witches Halloween collection. And then I had these big fun stickers that I think were for kind of like a Halloween party. So this one is about crafted barfly cocktails, and we've got like some, you know, insects there. And this was from a Mother Goose, an old Mother Goose book, but I just love how she has like a witchy hat on and she has this goose. So I felt like for a Victorian Halloween or that sort of feel, it went quite nicely. And this is just some hand-dyed paper with my ghostly windows or frosted windows feel to it, and we've added this eye right there. Some more brown paper with lace on the back side. This is a calendar page from a Victorian Halloween calendar of this giant, you know, jack-o'-lantern and the cats. It's really great. More of the same papers, and that orange paper again. And then this is a tuck spot, and inside of it we have this Halloween journal card. It's a postcard design, and I've stapled on this F acetate just as a little pull to pull it out of there. October with a jack-o'-lantern and more cabbage dyed paper. This says Black Magic, and it is like a scan of a piece of vintage Halloween type literature. And we have this black with orange dot paper, and this is just a fun little sort of spooky piece that I did some time ago for something. I can't even recall, but I liked it in this book. Just a fun journal card. Over here we have these little faceless beings. It's a little journal card in this pocket. And then we have this sort of spooky lady in front of this house, haunted house kind of page. And this is a big journal card that I cut from a children's book with this cat. We stalk the shadows, dark, unseen. Goodbye till next year, Halloween. And I added a poison beware label on the side of the folder there. It's a big journal card made from a folder. And more dyed and fun digital paper, spider there, and this fun orange with a tab, wallpaper, paper. My light's a little bright today. I apologize. I have to reset it. This is another pocket from Release the Craftin. This fun melty candle with a skull on this diagonal page. And then this is a fun journal card. It kind of looks like you've tossed a couple of papers down, and it's like a tag and a journal card, and I've done collaging with all sorts of bits and bobs, and that's what the back looks like, just like a fun stack of papers type journal card. And more of my dyed purple paper. This is a pocket with this fun, I got this, it was like all these bats all kind of tied together like a bunting, and they're a little glittery, but like it's not the kind of glitter that will come off on your fingers or anything. And I made a pocket on this woven feeling paper. This is from Release the Craftin, this beautiful image. It's a journal card, that cat. And over here we have some more of my hand-dyed paper. Little pocket here on this the Magus Celestial Intelligence or Occult Philosophy, and this is a little ticket here with an owl, and that is on a journal card. Printing and cabbage dyed paper, brown paper with lace, a calendar page from the Victorian calendar. More cabbage dyed and printed digital fun papers, more of my hand dyed lacy paper. This pocket here, this was fun, collaging on a jelly print, and this says double toil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble. And this is a tag here. It says trick or treat on back and on front. Halloween pumpkins, and then this little tag inside that says pumpkins, and on the back Halloween. It's just a fun little double tag with a pocket on the front. More hand-dyed paper, and then this little skeleton couple sort of, and we have a little railway ticket there, and then this is a Tim Holtz doll with some wings behind it. I collaged it. It says Season of the Witch, and that is from Release the Craftin, who at this time that I'm filming this is actually doing a really cool Season of the Witch make-along, so check her out. Le Grand Danse Macabre, and this is more of that fun scrapbook paper. This is a little Halloween pumpkin that I cut out of packaging a couple of years ago, and it's been in my stash of Halloween things for a while, so I made a little flip out so you can just write on the back. And then I love this paper. I think this is from Simple Stories. It's just a really cool paper for Halloween. And then another of our spooky ladies on this Halloween-y feeling haunted house, spiders and such. So that just tucks in here. And you'll see there's a little flap there of an envelope, paper clipped on. So on the back here we have this dotted brown paper. It's also beautiful. And then this is a boiled book envelope that I made. I added a Plague Doctor tag on front. The back has great texture. And the inside we have this Strange Sights, this Halloween figure here with a jack-o'-lantern on their head. And that just pops over the top with this rusted paper clip. More hand-dyed paper, little pocket here with this fun vintage Halloween journal card. And on this side we have like a haunted house image, and it's on this fun paper with this insects journal card, again cut from that vintage Fleur magazine. This is some old woven paper or woven vellum paper from like an old photo album. We have this little glue down of some spooky text on this orange paper, and another of those fun bats, this time used as a tuck spot for this tag that has a pocket on the front. Some collaging here, and we have this little skeleton tag inside. Spider webs behind the bat. This is a Release the Craftin page, and then I've added this Halloween costume vintage girl, and this is some cabbage dyed, some of my spooky boiled book doll book paper, and it's bound with some eco-printed fabric, so another nice little texture in your book. Brown paper with lace, again another of those amazing Halloween Victorian book pages, or calendar pages rather, and then more of my scary doll painted and fabric bound pages. Cabbage dyed, Release the Craftin. Belly band from Tim Holtz's Snippets collection from this year's Halloween, and spider webs. And then we have this journal card here, just like an old witch kind of like history book kind of image, art book kind of image. And then this is I recently made some journals for my Patreon Journal Together Club that were in this theme, and so I had some packaging left over and made this fun pocket with it. And then this is just a tag that I cut from a book. I really liked how this arrow just really fits in with the overall Halloween theme. Maybe it's directing you to like where to get candy at a haunted house. And some more of that vintage photo album paper. This image of these two gals here, kind of spooky, like something maybe, you know, supernatural is happening. And then we have this sort of haunting journal card. Upper tuck with another of those Victorian postcard kind of spooky images. She looks quite distraught, writing a letter about maybe a ghost that's haunting her. Some purple dyed paper. This is out of the Victorian calendar. I cut this and made it into a tuck spot on the brown dotted paper. Oh, my light just died. I will have to change the battery. I think this lighting is fine though. It's okay, actually. It looks good on my display. And another of those Fleur postcard type journal cards. This is a lamp with some moths in it, and on that fun paper again. And then this was cut from like a book about monsters that was like illustrated in the 70s, and I really like this witchy kind of woman. And then this is a Halloween Simple Stories page, and I've added a couple pockets. This journal card was actually from some Skull Candy headphones. I thought it was a cool image. And then in here we have this little doll and this little journal card with bugs in a jar. Over here we have this hand reaching out of the ground on this fun paper, and then this Frankenstein monster journal card. These are all cut from like vintage comic book books. This is some really fun coffee dyed paper. Belly band with these great jack-o'-lanterns back here. Love them. This is from Release the Craftin from the Witches Halloween collection, I believe. Amazing big envelope because Priscilla knows what's up with Halloween. And this says double double toil and trouble. We have this fun paper doll here. The background is like a silver. I did that with a tissue, and it's got holes punched in either side. I kind of made it a fun shape. I rounded two corners and didn't round the other two, so it's got like a kind of industrial fun feel to it, and the whole thing just folds up and goes right in your belly band. Grungy and dyed papers, a Halloween greetings, another of those vintage kind of images, right, that were done on postcards. And then this tag here says haunting. Another tab, another Release the Craftin page. This is a little fly sort of from a science book. And then we have some diamondy kind of grungy paper. This little Halloween paper doll on some of this year's Tim Holtz glittery Halloween plaid paper. And it's got like a thick, almost a cardboard backing feeling texture. It's interesting. Then some more dyed paper. Brown paper with lace, and another of those fun Victorian Halloween calendar pages. More dyed paper, a skull pocket with more of that fun glittering paper, and this 1915 kind of spooky calendar stationery. Release the Crafton digital page. And then this was cut again from like an old book about monsters, and it's got like this, you know, cranks and dials, maybe from like Frankenstein's laboratory. And then these witches and an owl sort of doing like a seance kind of thing. And then we have a couple of these are my pumpkin images that I did for a project for my Patreons. Like I give out free digitals on my Patreon. And then we have a couple of little tombstone skeleton tags in here. And more dyed and fun papers. Then this tuck spot here, Let Your Dreams Take Flight. And it's on some fun hand-dyed paper. More coffee-dyed paper. This paper doll has moving legs, and it's a tuck spot for this spider journal card, again from that vintage Fleur magazine. Another of those monster book kind of, this says Normal Brain. Just fun vintage like Halloween kind of books or monster books. And then this is a fun image with these skeletons here. And on back it has this. That was from a Journal Together kit of mine on Patreon. Then we have a pocket here with a bat. Beautiful paper. And another little journal tag on hand-dyed paper. Some vintage Halloween costume images. A little October collaged pocket from the Victorian calendar. This is a tag here. This is from Release the Crafton, this beautiful digital paper. And this is kind of like 3 tucks. It's like a busy little page, but it's fun. So the 3 images of these are little insect, ticks, flies. They're all from the same kind of science book. In here we have a little journal card from Louisa Heinzel with those mushrooms with an eyeball. This, don't remember who this is from, but it's a little journal card. And then we have a tag in here with a little jack-o'-lantern with the corncob pipe. This is from Release the Crafton, this cat here. It's a little banner on my hand-dyed paper. A collage pocket that was cut from a book. And this is a fun bat paper, I think also from Simple Stories. This is an envelope again. This is the second of these boiled book envelopes in here with this beautiful paper doll on the front. That's from It Capilli Imaginarium on Etsy. And then inside is this fun piece of stationery that I made from like a vintage kind of Hollywood Stars book. And it's this witchy woman with these vintage like bats and things behind her. Probably from an old movie poster. And that just fits in the envelope there and then tucks on in here. And then here we have, this is a cool sort of spread. So we've got these cool papers. This is actually Braille. If you can see the dots there, I got this really interesting children's book that was all about like not seeing color. And it had stuff about like nature and how to perceive nature. And it was Braille, and it has all the dots are on black paper because it's also about like not seeing color. So then these are 2 journal cards, both cut from a really cool children's book, a witch with a bat, and then this demon-y kind of devilish figure. So they're like big journal cards that just fit in each of the tuck spots. Some tissue paper with copper bits there. This eyeball pocket, the spider webs with this little bat boy. Some fun papers, The Discovery of Witches, and I've dyed up that paper. In here we have Book of Spells and Incantations. This is a large journal card. This was from a Halloween release of paper, I think from Michael's, from a couple of years ago now. And this is another Halloween Victorian calendar page with some lace stitching. And there again is another whole spread from the Victorian calendar with some fabric stitched on the side here, more of the calendar. Last tab of the book, and this banner up here with this spider is from Release the Crafton. More dyed and fun digital paper. Get Lost Under the Spell of the Moon, and this journal card inside. More of the tissue and inked papers. This little banner of kind of Halloween celestials, and this was a tuck spot I made from the Halloween Victorian calendar. And this was like from a cool book about being immortal, and they talked about different immortal figures. So we have like a vampire, like a warlock, and like just different characters. And I thought for the costuming, it's really great for a Halloween book. More bats and purple paper. tuck spot with a little skeleton journal card. Release the Craftin' page, and a little pocket here with this. This was a faux cabinet card that I made using one of the Tim Holtz frames, and you can see I've distressed it and sanded it so it's like it looks quite authentic. It's very fun. More vintage costume paper, and this is again that fun plasticky wallpaper, scrapbook paper, and we have a moon face kind of pocket here. Those are another of the Victorian Halloween type images from postcards. And then here we have another collage tag, little pocket on the front with this little tag inside, so lots of writing space going on. And that just tucks in here. And then the back we have this fun paper doll. This again is from It Capilli Imaginarium, and I added some other bits and bobs to it. And then you have my stamp here with this fun torn up sort of silk lace, and then I've added my signature and the date there on a tag. So that is this big Victorian Halloween book, and I hope you enjoyed the flip through. I really loved making this book. It was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be making Halloween journals this season. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I am just back from holidays as I am finishing this, so I am covered in mosquito bites. We did lots of campfires, and despite bug spray, the mosquitoes were wild. So that's another great thing about fall, is those guys all go bye-bye. So I hope you are well. I'll be back with some more videos now, and take good care of you. Bye for now.